There are a list of words you have to avoid in selling. If you are using these words even by mistakes, it communicates a wrong message to your customer. Sometimes you may be communicating these words without knowing to you. You may be using these words with your clients without knowing to you. But the damage is really high. You will lose your relationship, and at the same time, you won't be able to get the sale. Therefore, if you want to build the relationship with customers, and if you want to make sales, you just want to avoid these words, and instead of that, you just want to replace this word with the right words. I'll show you the replacing words as well. Cost, price. What comes to your mind when I say cost, when I say price? So when you think about cost or price, that means your money goes away from you. Your money part from you. No one likes to ghost their money from their hands. When you tell to the customer, Mr. Customer, our cost is like this, Mr. Customer, our price is like this, the customer subconsciously feel that he has to spend the money, that his money is going away from him. Therefore, don't use this word. Instead of that, use the word investment. Now, please understand, there is a big difference between cost and investment. When you say cost, that money is going away from you. When you say investment, you get the dividend at present as well as you will get the dividends in the future. Therefore, tell to the customer, Mr. Customer, this is the total investment you have to make. If the customer knows it's not a cost, it's not a price, he will get the dividends. Most of the time, the salespeople have to use the word down payment. But when they use the down payment, again, as I told you earlier, it costs to the customer. It's a price to the customer. Now, if you are in the real estate, if you are in the car selling, or if you are in the insurance, and if you are selling any kind of financial products, the customer have to pay the down payment. Customer have to make an initial payment. So how you are going to tell that? Follow that rule. Never use the word payment, price, cost. Instead of that, use the word investment. Mr. Customer, this is the initial investment you have to make. Then the customers know someday they will get the dividends. It makes a positive impression. Contract. Mr. Customer, shall we sign the contract? So what comes to your mind? So when we say contract, by default, it comes to our mind. We will get into the courts, and the lawyers are there wearing blazers, and they try to prove their points. You know, it's a very complicated picture automatically comes to our mind when we use the word contract. By default, people don't like to get into trouble like that. Actually, what you need to have an agreement with the customer. That is what you need to have, right? Your terms and conditions are there. The customer terms and conditions are there. So you agree with the customer. That's it. So therefore, rather than using the word contract, use the word agreement. Or you can use the word even paperwork. Mr. Customer, right, everything is all right. Shall we do the paperwork, right? Shall we sign the agreement? It sounds better. Sometimes in your sales presentation, you have to use the word problem. Mr. Customer, this is the problem you have to face. Mr. Customer, this kind of problems you will encounter at the end of the quarter, at the end of the season, at the end of the year. When you use the word problem, it's a kind of a negative thing. It's a kind of a discouraging word. So rather than problem, you have to replace that word with a positive word. Therefore, replace it with challenge. Mr. Customer, that's the challenge you have to confront. Mr. Customer, that's the challenge we have to overcome. You see, you can immediately flip the mindset of your customers for a positive side. In the middle of the sales presentation, you might be asking from your customer, Mr. Customer, do you have any objections? What do you mean by that? That means when you say objections, that means customer is always trying to oppose you, always trying to object you. That's not the way that you have to do. Both of you sit in the same side of the table. You are trying to provide a solution for them. Therefore, they don't behave just like an enemy. So when you use the word objections, it means that they are going to interrupt you. That's not the way it's going to work. Instead of that, you can use the word concerns. Mr. Customer, do you have any concerns? Do you have any concerns about our service? Do you have any concerns about these terms and conditions? Do you have any concerns up to now? Don't use the word cheap. And I know your intention. You just want to tell to your customers that your price is lowest. Don't tell to the customer, Mr. Customer, we are the cheapest, because it's give a totally wrong impression to the customer. Cheap means it may tell to the customer that your product quality is cheap, that your product is cheap, that your service quality is cheap. You are giving a really bad impression to your customer. Therefore, use the word economical. Mr. Customer, our products are more economical, and we are the most economical in the industry. Use the word economical. It will give a totally different perception to your customer. In B2B selling, when you meet a customer, when you meet a prospect, you just want to make an appointment. Mr. Customer, I am so and so. I just want to make an appointment with you. When the prospect or your customer hear the word appointment, he get excited. He may be thinking totally different way. Because appointment in the sense, you set a time, it's a very formal thing, and you have to adhere to a time, and you just want to make all the resources available at that time period. But to tell you honestly, your customers are really busy. Your prospects are really busy. They are having their core task. They don't like to get excited during their working time period. They don't like to take unnecessary trouble. Now tell me, actually, what do you want to do? You just want to meet that prospect, right? You just want to meet that client. So rather than make him complicated, rather than make him confused, you can use the word, Mr. Customer, can I meet you? Mr. Customer, I'm going to visit some of my clients on that route. On the way, can I drop into your office and visit you for a moment? You see, it doesn't make any kind of complicated thing. It doesn't frighten the customer. It's a kind of a friendly visit. Therefore, even for the existing customers, as well as your prospective customers, if you want to meet them, tell directly you just want to meet them or you just want to visit them. When you use the word buy, Mr. Customer, you can buy from us. Our services are good, our services are better. No one likes to be sold. So therefore, don't try to sell them. When you use the word buy, that means the customer is pushing to buy something. That's not the way that you have to do. Mr. Customer, you can own this product. Mr. Customer, you can own this vehicle. Instead of buying, you can use the word owning or you can use the word own. And sometimes when you talk to your customers, and most of the time I have heard, and some of the salespeople they are talking, Mr. Customer, sorry to trouble you. They are using the word sorry to trouble you. Think about the meaning of that. Now, without thinking too much, they use the phrase, sorry to trouble you. But think about it, how stupid it is. Why you are troubling, right? Why you are saying sorry, right? And why you are troubling in the first place? That's a question. That's the first question you have to ask yourself. That when you are going to trouble, then after that, you're going to say sorry. Rather than doing that, you should stop doing troubling to the customer, right? But I know your intention. So you can ask the customer, is busy or not to talk to him. You can ask from your prospect or the customer, Mr. Customer, may I know, are you free to talk for 5 minutes time? Are you free to talk for 2 minutes time? And oftentimes I have witnessed some salespeople, when they visit a prospect, when they visit an existing customer especially, they tell to them, Mr. Customer, I just want to follow up with you. I came here just following up with you. Why you are following up, right? And that is the nature of the typical salespeople. They want to chase the customers and the customers run very fast. That is what typical salespeople are doing. It obviously tells to the customer, it obviously tells to your prospect that you are pushing the sale, that you are going to sell something to the customers. But people don't like to be sold. Therefore, don't use the phrase, just came here to following up with. Instead of that, tell the valid reason of your visit. Valid reason in the sense you just want to deliver the value to your customer. For example, you can find out a newspaper article, very interesting article, which talk about the industry, the customer's industry. You can take a photocopy and you can give to the customer, Mr. Customer, I think this will be really helpful for you. That's a following up. Your newsletter, that's a following up. You share with your customer important, informative video, that's a following up. Therefore, just like a typical salesperson, don't use the word following up. I hope these words and phrases are really helpful for you. Please avoid them and replace with the correct words which I have told you. I'll see you soon with another video like this. Good luck. Thank you for watching this video. Please share this video, read below information and subscribe to my channel. I will offer you more videos like this to improve your sales and to grow your business. Have a great day.